We're live talking about umbilicoliths and a very popular video on our channel. Umbilicoliths Are Real is the title of it. And it's been watched over 70,000 times in just the last 2 days of this weekend. And it blows me away that people are that interested in umbilicoliths. I guess they are kind of unique. Before I had put out that umbilicolith video a few weeks back, I had never seen one myself on YouTube. And when I looked for them to see if other people had done them, I couldn't find any other doctors who had done them, although since I've discovered that Dr. John Gilmore has, and I believe there's another doctor who's also done some videos on them. I hadn't seen those before I made my own. It was very interesting for me to have that case. It's actually not the most amazing umbilicalith that I've ever had. There was one years ago in the Auburn medical group that we had where the patient, I discovered it on them and asked them if they wanted it taken out, and they wanted it, and it was much larger, much more interesting. And then this one was just 2 in the last 12 years. Let's visit with you guys. We've got Petra from Sweden. Hi, Petra. So good to have you joining us. I hope this is a little better time than when I've done them in the evenings for you. And then we have Fleddy 2012. Hey, how are you today? I'm good. How are you? And, of course, BooBoo Kitty, who I'm sure loves umbilicalists. Sharon Calvert says hello, and Pam and her hubby. Hi, Dr. Vaughan. I cut you live. Yes, you did. Thank you for doing that. Norma Jean Green, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Norma Jean. Trina Jensen, hello, Dr. Mark. Nice to see you today. Looking good as ever. Tina in Nottingham. Wow, all the way from other side of the pond. We are really glad to have our international guest with us. Claire is here. Beautiful outside. Alexis Reed, I'm dealing with chronic pain. What do you think about I can't even pronounce it. Petra, it's now 12, oh, right at midnight. Okay. And then BooBoo thinks the grosser the better, which is, okay, let's address the BooBoo comment about grosser is better. I do know that there is something about the gross factor. I can't get away from that. I can't avoid it. I can't step around it. I can't deny that there is a component of that in our medical videos, in medical, the medical field in general. Young boys and girls who say, I want to be a doctor someday, usually they're okay with looking at things that are considered by the other people as being gross. And instead of being grossed out by it, these individuals find it intriguing. They find the human body just a fascinating thing that we all have one of and want to work with it. And that's the difference between people who go into medicine and probably the people who watch these videos and those who would rather not. It's not their cup of tea. And I would not make any value judgment on either side, but I would say there are people who are different from those two groups. You know, there's the people who, ooh, that's gross, I don't want to see it. There's those people who say, no, that's fascinating, very interesting. I'm intrigued and I can't look away. And then there's those who are grossed out by it and yet still want to get it. And they comment on the channel. And that's not who this channel is really directed at. It's more directed at the people who are interested because they're fascinated with the human body. They're fascinated with science, how the world works, and they want to learn more and find it interesting to see it. So that's kind of my comment on the gross factor that BooBoo pointed out. And when she says the grosser the better, you know, the more visually interesting, the more it grabs our attention. I'm sure that's what BooBoo meant there. We had a ton of comments there. I didn't catch any of them because there weren't any super chats in there, but I'll go ahead and look back and see they're talking about something called indica. I'm not familiar with it, so I can't help with that. And oh, Hannah's here. Do you like removing the umbilicalith? It's cool. Yeah, I like removing it. There's one comment that I didn't allow through. I deleted it on the umbilicalith video. Lots of comments on the umbilicalith video this weekend. One comment I didn't let through said something, it was a derogatory comment, something about charging $300 for this. Well, I don't know where they came up with that because I do not know of a billing code for umbilicalith, so I don't charge for something like that. Just like we don't charge for the blackheads. That's as much fun for me as anything. So why would I charge the patient for that? Plus it, you know, can get 1 million views on YouTube. So no, those things don't get charged. We charge for the regular things that are medical procedures, not aesthetics. So we don't charge for the the blackhead or the umbilicolith. We do charge for an ear cleaning. We do charge for a biopsy, unless a patient, doesn't have insurance and they wouldn't be able to get it otherwise, and they don't mind being on YouTube. Hey, it's a win-win-win. Everybody comes out ahead on that one. Okay, backing up a little bit. Yeah, BooBoo says that she wanted to be a nurse, and that totally makes sense. Tina Jensen says that asks, and she's from Nottingham, how can people get umbilicoliths? Yes, let's find out. Let's write a book, How to Umbilicolith. How can they not wash? It's a very strange thing. Tina Jensen brings up another thing I want to speak about. It's not simply a matter of not washing, and we've had comments that I haven't let through where people are accusing the patient of not having good hygiene, and although there may be some component of that to it, that's not the whole story. These things aren't simply just a collection of dirt that's never been cleaned out. There is a condition where there's something for it to attach to inside of their umbilicus, because just simply dirt wouldn't do that by itself. There's also a factor of why is it sticking and staying, and that has to do with some of the sebaceous oils of their skin having a special property to it that's not the typical. And then, so when people write those things that I feel could be construed, if the patient were to look and find it insulting, I will not let those go on. I think you guys would all be a part of that. Okay, well, welcoming some more people here who have been joining us. Let's see, these are all people we know. All right, we'll get caught up on reading some comments. And Norma Jean Green says something's hard. Pam, the human body is totally fascinating. Yes, I'm with you on that. Tiana Jensen, yes, very fascinating. Earwax, lumps, bumps, etc. Sharon, have you started? Mine says waiting. Yeah, we're here. Tiana, I wanted a free earwax hunt. I'm not saying it would never happen. Okay, so, and Petra, it's kind of windy where you're sitting, so it's hard to hear you sometimes. I apologize for that. I didn't realize there was even any effect on the wind on the mic, although this mic will sometimes make noises even when and yes, Sarah says Happy Memorial Day. We all want to recognize those who have died in service of our country. I'm not quite sure how that works out for people from other countries participating, but for the U.S., and I'm sure people in other countries would also have some way of honoring their men and women in uniform who, or maybe not even in uniform, who have fought to protect them too. Okay, moving back down to the current comments of you guys on our little talk about the umbilicoliths. So I spoke a little bit about how they're formed. There does seem to be something different about the umbilicus structurally of a person who gets these, and I don't know details on it. There's not a lot of literature on this stuff. Imagine that. They're common enough, but they don't have any medical consequences. People don't get sick from them. I mean, it's not that you couldn't, it's just it'd be extremely rare. So, they don't really become a medical issue that much. BooBoo says that would be like saying, ooh, doesn't he, she ever clean their ears? Yes. Yeah, the ears too. I am very careful about what we let on, because my patient, first of all, it's incredibly generous for them to share their private healthcare experience on YouTube. And then on top of that, for those comments to be there, I am very strict about what I allow and don't allow on there, and it's because of that. If I had a different kind of channel, say like Dr. Terry Bull, then I'd probably let just about anything go on. Actually, I think Dr. Bull is the one who runs the comments on his more than I do. But when it's medical and it's a patient, totally different thing. It's a very unique area of YouTube, so it's handled differently. And Fleddy 2012 says, what are the characteristics to be a good doctor? As I want to be a doctor, you got to love it. That's about all there is to it. You got to love it. You got to be good with people and be okay with people, as annoying as they can be sometimes. Sarah, never have to be concerned about this. I have no navel. Wow, Sarah, that is unexpected. That's like Kyle XY. Petra, BooBoo, I'm a nurse, but now I'm sick senior because of my illnesses. Love to be a nurse, so if you want to go for it, it's totally worth it. And Philippa Sevilla, thank you so much. Educational content on this channel. Greetings to you from Croatia. Croatia, wow, that is so cool that people are watching so far away. Tiana just asked, can you say a prayer for Manchester, please, when you have a quiet moment? And I would share that with everybody, wanting to remember Manchester, pray for the people there, the families. Still, that's probably, for those of you who don't know, just go ahead and Google Manchester, and you'll learn about the attack that occurred last week. And yeah, we have been thinking of Manchester, and you guys are in our prayers. Ellen Desk, my daughter's belly button splits open at the bottom. We used peroxide when she was young. Yes, correct. She still does when it happens. Do you know why this happens? It's just a matter of how it's healing or not healing. It can be cauterized. There's actually a great video by Dr. Paul Thomas where he cauterizes a little belly button that's leaking and oozing a little bit. This is next year. And we are coming back. The YouTube is getting back on, and we're back. There's something about something satisfying about seeing this thing come out of an orifice, a hole, an opening, that is satisfying, relaxing for people who watch it. It's just the way our psychology is, and I'm not quite sure the whole extent. I'll go ahead and go way out and say that even eliminating bowel movements may tie in somehow with this, that there's a certain satisfaction that people experience. Anybody who says I'm going too far there and I need to not say such things, all you have to do is work with a population that is more concerned about having their daily bowel movement than the illness of their young child to find this out. And I'll also go out on a limb and say it does seem to be more a thing as people do get older, this preoccupation with that particular eliminating something through an orifice and getting it out of the body. Maybe a little funny, maybe a little across the line, but there is this satisfaction that comes from it, and these videos tie into that. People get a certain satisfaction out of that thing getting out of that hole and getting out of somebody's body. I know too. I know that with a good earwax extraction, you see that big glob come out, you just go, oh, that is so satisfying to see that. And many of you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here at all. And so, thank you so much. I'm not sure what BooBoo's getting at there. And for those of you who are watching this after the fact, you can't read the comments. I apologize. I try to make it as accessible to people who watch this after the live thing. I also want you to know your comments are welcome too after the live video. I do read all of the comments. So do be sure to comment even if you weren't here while we were live. Pam has to go. Tana, thank you, everyone. Yes, for Manchester. And Petra's talking to BooBoo. So I do encourage you all to, of course, be subscribed if you're not already, and to turn on notifications. If you haven't already turned on notifications, touching that little bell icon on my channel so that you can get the notifications, and also in the settings on your YouTube browser so that you'll know when we go live. Hey, we have somebody new. Lockmax says canker sores keep appearing for a year. Vitamin C, B supplements didn't stop it from appearing. And there's more to it than just that. We'll probably get into that on a future video. Until next time, Dr. Mark Vaughan telling all of you wonderful people, thank you for participating. Until next time, I want you to stay in good health.